Hey, it's me, Rachel, your crypto bestie, and happy birthday to Pulse Chain because it turns 1 today. So, I just can't believe we're already here. I can't believe it's already been a year. And I remember 2 years ago when everything was going down and Richard Hart was like, mid May is when this is going to launch. And then it didn't happen in 2022, but then it happened on May 12th in 2023. And in one of my videos in 2022, I was like, just wait, it's going to be mid-May 2023. Like, that's just what it's going to be. And that's what it ended up being. So, crazy moment. I'd love to do a little bit of a recap of what has happened this past year. But first, we're going to watch my reaction to it launching because, oh my gosh. What a great day. What a great day. So when Pulse Chain went live, I was in a Mexican restaurant with my mom and dad, and I was so grateful. My dad had been traveling a lot for work, and I was really nervous that he wasn't going to be around when Mainnet was going to launch, and I'm so grateful he was because I freaked out. And I was with them in that moment, which is perfect. I think it was a Friday night when it actually launched. So I was at the Mexican restaurant. My mom was amazing because my dad and I got a text from one of our crypto friends and sent us a tweet from Richard. So saw that within like 2 minutes of him posting that it was live, and we were almost done with our meal. So my mom, she's like, "Okay, let me film a video of you." So she filmed a video of me. She went and got the check, and my dad and I were just like doing things on our phone. We drive home, and on the drive home, I live stream talking about it. We get back, we like do our whole strategy because if you remember that time, I like posted my bridge strategy, like my launch strategy, like all of those things. And so we started doing that, and it was wild. Like, it was one of the craziest things, and I was in shell shock. I remember when I think V3 came out, I was also in shell shock. But I definitely was in that exact moment. And I was like having my dad like walk through the things of like, okay, what do we do? And I'm like, I literally have been telling all these people of what my strategy is, but it just was one of those moments where it was like we waited for it for years, and then it finally happened, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was very surreal. But thank goodness for testnet. I love testnet, and I sometimes even will still use it because I want to do specific things, but I want to practice them before I actually do it with real money. And so testnet was an absolute lifesaver. So God bless for that. But a lot has happened in the past year. And a couple of things that I want to talk about is just really how far things have come. I mean, within the community in general, like, a lot of people have been onboarded into Pulse Chain. I think it's a great blockchain to get into, to be onboarded into. But it's been cool to see just like the Pulse Chain tour and everything that they're doing, and to see just the different people that do all these different outreaches, and then all the projects that have come out, like just different community members. They've been coming out with different projects, which is really cool to see, even the meme coins that are coming out. And it's amazing just to see how everyone is working together to be able to make Pulse Chain such a great blockchain. And I mean, kudos to everyone that is working so hard, and all of the projects that I didn't even mention, because I'm just so proud to be a part of a community that's so innovative and that really wants to just push forward and trailblaze. There we go. So a lot has happened this past year. A couple of things within Pulse Chain itself is it is not web-based anymore, in the sense that it is not on central servers. So if we look at pulsechain.com, we can actually find, if we want to run PulseX, the bridge, I think maybe the validators too, I can't remember. If you're wanting to run any of those, you have to either download it to your computer for the code and run the code, or you can use IPFS, which in our URL, HTTP is a central server for the World Wide Web. But if we use IPFS, then that's a decentral server. And so Richard Hart actually and his developers have given us those options, and they actually don't even have the options to be able to use the central server anymore. So I think that's amazing. And I really feel like that team is just looking like 10 steps ahead of like, what if the government takes away like that privilege to be able to do that? Like, we have it on our code. It's just some software program that we run on our computer. So That I think is probably one of the biggest technology things that's happened in the last year since the launch. And PulseX is amazing. There have been really cool projects that have come out that just show us everything that's going on. And one of them is gopulse.com. And then there's also the pulsecoinlist.com. Those are both phenomenal. And you should look at both of them because seriously, they're so great. I love both of them for different reasons. And so, yeah, there's just been so many different community things that have happened. There have been so many different events that we've had the opportunities to go to. And a lot of people have taken the opportunity to go to those. There have been so many coins that you could get into that have actually already done well within this bull market. I think that, Pulse Chain is one of those things that is going to continue to do well. And it's going to be one of the ones, I think, more towards the end of the cycle that's going to do well. But the whole ecosystem with the Pulse and the PulseX and the incentive, like, it's just crazy to see everything that's happening. And then the narratives around like Atropa and the PDAI and how you can use both of those things and what that's going to do. Like, these are things that, at least for me, I never heard of. It's all new. It's all exciting things. But a lot has happened in the last year. I remember even with the Pulse Bridge coming out, that was so funny because I was on a date when that happened and I knew it was going to come out then. I had a feeling it didn't come out one day. It's going to come out the next day. And I was like, I have a date. I literally show up to my date. I think I was either earlier. He was like just a couple minutes late. And I saw the tweet and I was like, oh my gosh, do I leave? And that's when I replied to the tweet. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I leave the date? Do I stay? I ended up staying for just a little while and it was good. But yeah, the Pulse Bridge came out and then it was clogged, which I actually don't even know I think that may have been purposeful, but then it was clogged and it took forever. And then I tried to film the video for the Pulse Bridge 8 times. I can't even tell you how much money I wasted on fees that day because I was just trying to film the video so people could use it. But yeah, so it's just been crazy. It's been so exciting. And really, I feel like we're just at the beginning. Obviously, Pulse Chain's 1 year old and the potential that it has is just phenomenal. It's going to be cool to see if Richard Heart comes out with other projects because I know that there have been things that have been teased/rumored that might be coming to Pulse Chain and PulseX from his team. But yeah, so it just so exciting that we're actually here. I was watching some of my old videos talking about getting to this point, and it's weird. That was a year out from it being a year away from it being launched, but now we're a year out from it being launched, and yeah, it's wild. And then the Pulse Chain and Hex conferences that have happened for Maddie Allen, those have been great. And then I've just seen, other people, other content creators come into this space that maybe Pulse Chain wasn't their original thing, but they like Pulse Chain. So with all that being said, happy birthday to Pulse Chain. I'd love to know, what was your number one thing from Pulse Chain this year? It can also be PulseX if you want. But what was the number thing that happened that you think was just the best thing that happened for the community, for Pulse Chain, anything in that realm? I'd love to know. Also, I think this is just such a funny question, so I'd love to know this in the comments too. Where were you when Pulse Chain launched? Because I was definitely at a Mexican restaurant eating Mexican food, and I will never forget that. That place is stuck here. I have a video for it. Even so, just exciting with all of the things that are going on, and I can't wait for the next year because I'm sure I'll post a video next year for its 2-year-old birthday. All right, have such a great day. Bye.